true. This is the other thing. There are 5 places in the world. Okay, look on this map. 5 places in the world where people live the longest. There is one here in the U.S. It's called Loma Linda, California. But it's only a small segment of Seventh-day Adventists who live in Loma Linda, California. There is also one in the Nicoya Peninsula of Costa Rica. Then you have to go all the way across the world to the Mediterranean, right? Mediterranean diet, doesn't make sense, right? 2 places in the Mediterranean. One is a place called Sardinia, Italy. And you heard me talk about that today when Andy, his company, like the best red wine that is good for you, if you only do it in moderation, 1 or 2 glasses a day, is Cannonau wine from Sardinia, Italy. You can buy it. There's a place, you can usually buy it at Total Wine stores, and there's also the place in the Patriot Mall, the liquor store there, they sell it. Not super expensive. Cannonau wine, Sardinia, Italy. The next place, right neighbors to that, is a place called Corsica, Greece. Then to get to the final place, it is at the end of the world. There's a reason why they call it the Far East, okay? Right now, I think there's a 14-hour, when the time changes, it's different, but I think it's 14-hour difference. That's how far it is. That's where I grew up in Okinawa, Japan. And the one thing that I can tell you about, in all of these 5 places of the blue zones, this is the amazing research that just blew me away. Guess what? They all practice the same the same 8 principles in terms of what they do to live a long and healthy life. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, how do we know this? When did the research looked at it? Yes. And so I'm not going to go through it, but here are basically what you have to do. You are what you eat and you drink, okay? And I would explain it at some point in time, but basically there's a concept of calling eating until you're 80% full. Has anybody ever heard of that concept? Okay, does anyone want to explain what that means?
Stop eating before you feel full.
Yes, okay? They call it, in Japan, they call it hara hachibu. And what hara hachibu, they say it, the traditional Okinawans, they say it before they start eating. And it means you eat somewhere between feast and famine. You know when you're at a feast and like today, or like a holiday like Christmas or Thanksgiving, and you just eat, and then you say, why did I do that? I'm too full, right? Then you know when you are so hungry. I was so hungry, I couldn't get over to that buffet fast enough. I could have eaten grass and I would have been fine. I was so hungry. You know that feeling? Hara hachibu is the point when you are no longer hungry, but you're not overeating. And the science behind it, when we ate that meal, it takes 20 minutes for the brain to tell the stretch receptors in our stomach that we are full. If you overeat, you're eating 20% more. That's why you look at the Asian, especially a lot of the Asian people, the Japanese and the Chinese, they're very thin. They say they put their fork down, their chopstick, once they no longer feel hungry. I have still a way to go. I lost 65 pounds when I discovered that concept, and I still have some way to go. But when you are no longer hungry, stop eating. And it's what you eat. Plant-based diet, but it doesn't only have to be a plant-based diet. One of the big things that Okinawans love that blew me away, pork. Pork is like, yes, but they eat it in moderation, and they cook it till all the stuff comes out of it. Okay, but you are also what you drink, okay? And the other thing,
Close to me now.
huh? Oh,
Getting
sorry.
too close. No, I mean
Sorry.
like you're hitting home.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay. De-stress from stress, okay? Imbibe and unwind with wine at 5. Believe it or not, the people in the world that live a long, healthy life, that's kind of what they do. And there's some controversy about that, but except for Loma Linda, California. Around 5 o'clock, they stop what they're doing, they get together with family and friends, and they imbibe in a beverage. Again, the red Cannonau is probably the best that you can do. But it's really not about the drinking, it's about the socializing. It's about ending my day. I'm gonna be with my friends, we're gonna talk, we're gonna have good, the job is gone. And that's really important for us as executives, as people who are leaders. You gotta end it sometimes. Okay, and so that's what they do. The other thing is they shake off that stress. They don't let it get to them. They get in the groove and move, but they get in the groove and move through, which we're going to do in a moment, through like things that are very active for you. We're talking about gardening. We're talking about taking that walk to the West End Beach or the jog that I. It's not anything fancy. It's not clubs. It's like getting in the groove, like moving, action. If you're 110, they eat on the floor. So if I'm 110, I want to eat. I'm gonna get down and eat on the floor. But I've been doing it for probably 109 years. So it keeps me active up and down. LB to the 2 power. Love, be loved, and belong. We heard a lot about that today. The power of loving. If you are married, that increases your, married or in a committed relationship, that increases your lifespan. I'm single, so, you know, if anybody has any suggestions, like, please. But what they do too, it's family and friends. I was divorced. I'm divorced, I can say that. It's family and friends first. Always, always, always. Family and friends first, okay? Choose the company you keep. And the company is both, the old people down south, they used to say birds of a feather flock together. You ever heard that? Mm-hmm. It's true. The birds that are good flock together, the ones that are bad, okay? If you are in a place where people are negative Nellies and negative, you know, Nancys or whatever, you know, get out of that. And you're in a work environment that you hate, you know, get out of that. You're in a place that you live that you hate, get out of that. I love, exclamation point, living on captivating Cape Cod. When people say, are you going on vacation? I said, I don't need to. I have a vacation every day. This is where presidents and other people in the world come to live. I live a vacation. I love where I live. Okay, you are that. The other thing, the big thing that they do is let your little light shine higher. You've heard many people talk about this. We all have great skill sets. We all have wonderful things. But Ikigai, the purpose for being, is that it's about giving back to the world, but in an unselfish way. It's not something selfish, it's what you give back. They have even, like I said, I had to do my research on this because I knew I would get skewered by my colleagues at Harvard, right? If you practice those things, your Ikigai, your reason for being, what your purpose is, the Okinawans also say it's the reason you wake up. When you have found your work, your life purpose, you work up, you are energized, you're ready to go. What do you guys think my life purpose is? What's my Ikigai? Knowing what you've heard today, what do you think my Ikigai is? Because I found my Ikigai when I went back to Okinawa. Any guesses?
Helping other people find their Ikigai.
My Ikigai is helping people worldwide find purpose, work, and well-being success.